The second anniversary event of Pokemon Sleep is right around the corner, and with it comes the Hoenn starters, the Gen 3 starters, Mudkip, Trico, and Torchic. Welcome back to another Pokemon Sleep video, it's Bro Vinny here. Hold off on investing any new species of Pokemon just for a few days. Because with this maintenance coming in just about 2 days, it's going to cost you less to invest into any species from level 1 up to level 30. For new players, this is great news because it's just easier to get to level 30. For any existing players who haven't invested in certain species of Pokemon, this is also good news because it's overall going to cost you less candies and less Dream Shards. So how much of a change are we talking about? From 25 EXP per candy spent going up to 35, that's a 40% increase for any Pokemon that you level up below level 25, so up to the second sub-skill. Between level 25 and 30, the increase is 20%, so a little less, but still an improvement. After level 30, it will be the same, there's no change. Which is unfortunate because if you've been playing this game for a while, you'll know the most costly investments come from level 50 and onwards, where the cost to invest becomes astronomically higher all the way up to level 60, and it doesn't get better after that. Now, why did I say Dream Shards cost will also go down? Even though here it says the number of Dream Shards used at the same time will not change, what this means is that the amount of Dream Shards consumed per candy will be the same. But if you need less candy to get to the same level, then you're actually going to spend less Dream Shards. There is an overall saving on Dream Shards as well for any Pokemon that you haven't yet invested to level 30. This change also teaches us one thing. I often say only invest in a Pokemon when you need it. Don't do it ahead of time. Don't catch a really good Farfetch today and then just immediately invest in it unless today you need to actually cook that leek dish. Or don't invest in a Caterpie until you actually see a bug island, which we don't have one yet, or if you really need it because you rolled bug on Greengrass Isle or for certain events. There are many reasons for that. One of them is that we often get mini candy boost features for events. Then you can invest in those Pokemon for candy boost. You're going to consume less Dream Shards than doing it for high level Pokemon. But this maintenance change also tells us that it's possible for mechanical changes in EXP earned, but it seems to target newer players, or rather low level uninvested Pokemon, better than it does target those that are high level. So keeping a few Pokemon you've caught that are really good but you don't need them just yet at low level, when this kind of change happens, or when you get a mini candy boost feature, you will be maximizing the benefits of those changes or features. New players who haven't reached 250% area bonus across all areas in total, or even maybe returning players, because 250 is actually quite a lot as a cap. If you haven't reached it, you're going to get 15% area bonus increase at the end of every week instead of 10% or 5%. This is a great way for them to help newer players or returning players catch up to the long-term players. Whales are actually getting something as well. They will be adding main skill seed to the general shop, and there will be a limit on it every month. Now, it doesn't say how much the main skill seed cost will be. It will be interesting to see, but can we estimate what would be a good value? You've probably seen my value analysis on bundles before, and generally what I do is I do a 4-to-1 conversion of any items that are only available for sleep points into diamonds, because I use Helper Whistle as sort of the benchmark. Although for some others you might use the 2.5-to-1 conversion if you use Poke Biscuit as the conversion. It doesn't really matter, the conversion is arbitrary, but I always have it as a standard to do a 4-to-1 conversion so that I can compare the valuation across different bundles. As you can see, what I normally do is I use the premium shop main skill seed cost, which is 1800 sleep points, divided by 4, you get the 450, which is the diamond equivalent for a main skill seed. And I generally see a 30 to 40% off if you buy it from a bundle. Although this is probably a little undervalued because any item that has a limit placed on it, like main skill seed, and are usually sold out every month, just means that it actually could be worth more. It probably isn't worth 3600, which is what you would buy it in the regular exchange for if you don't have access to the premium exchange. It's the only other way to get it, using sleep points, in which case the diamond value would be 900. So in my personal opinion, I probably wouldn't buy from the general shop if it costed more than 900. If it costs anywhere between 450 to 900 diamonds, it may be worth considering. Now don't forget that if you buy it in a bundle with the same diamonds, generally speaking, let's say the main skill seed in the general shop is actually 900 diamonds, you would then get a discount off that. So even if I see it for 900, I probably wouldn't buy it from the general shop because waiting for a bundle is generally cheaper. The main advantage of buying it from general shop if you're a whale is because you're normally short on main skill seeds and you've overspent your premium shop main skill seeds that you're limited to 1 per month. If the main skill seed costs less than 450 diamonds, then I would highly consider buying it with diamonds. But I highly doubt that that's the case. Regardless, it's probably still better to buy it in a bundle anyway. Now onto this second anniversary event. We don't actually have much information on it yet. We don't even know if it's 1 or 2 weeks. Based on last year's event, the anniversary itself will be 2 weeks. We do know that it begins on the 14th of July, which is about 2 weeks from the release of this video. The actual anniversary date will be the 20th of July. However, the week prior to the anniversary event, there will be a Prelude event where the Paldea starters are going to be boosted. And my tip for where you should go is basically which of the Paldea starter that you still want to hunt. Now, if you're hunting for Coco and for Coco only, you don't need Quaxley or Sprigatito, then Taupe Hollow is the area of choice so that it doesn't get crowded out by other boosted species. Although if you don't mind the candies of the other species, All Gold Power Plant is going to be really good as well. All three species are still relatively powerful in their niche. So I actually would prefer All Gold Power Plant to encounter all three. If you're specifically hunting Quaxley, you don't want too many other spawns to be crowding you out, then Lapis Lakeside or Cyan Beach is also a good choice. If you're specifically hunting Sprigatito, then Lapis Lakeside is a good choice. If you're missing both Quaxley and Sprigatito, you don't want to be crowded out by Fuecoco spawns, then Lapis Lakeside is the ideal choice. If you're hunting for Coco and Quaxley, you don't want to be crowded out by Sprigatito spawns, then Cyan Beach is a good choice. I generally don't recommend Greengrass Isle for events unless there's a specific reason, like that's the only area you've got access to, or the only area where you've got enough area bonus to reach a high rank, especially to utilize the bonus in Dream Shards that I'll talk about in a moment. But otherwise for spawns, all the other areas are generally better. Maybe just don't go to Snowdrop Tundra. It's not even on this list because, well, the Paldea starters just aren't there. I think overall my general recommendation is All Gold Power Plant because all three species are relatively good, and also you'll get more candies of all three in total than going to any of the other areas. But if you're hunting a specific Pokemon, then one of the other areas might be your choice. Additionally, we're going to get some great bonuses during this event. 150 sleep points bonus every day. So in other words, in total, 1050 sleep points over the 7 days. And we'll be getting 1.5 times Dream Shards from Sleep Research. This is going to be a benefit for all players, but you might be asking, should I do 1 session or 2 sessions to maximize our Dream Shards? Well, first of all, to maximize the 1.5 times multiplier, choose an area that you can have a strong team and a high area bonus so that you can get more Dream Shards. But besides that, because of a recent change in how Dream Shards are earned, where from the 11th spawn onwards in a day, so including both sessions, the amount of Dream Shards you earned is halved, it can actually be harmful to be doing a nap, especially if your nap is a weak one that say is only 2 hours long and it actually takes up 8 spawns. That actually sounds counterintuitive because you normally want more spawns, but because of it being 8 spawns and you add an incense and also a good camp ticket spawn, that's 10 spawns. The strong session, the 80% session, which would normally give you higher sleep styles, all those sleep styles that normally generate you more Dream Shards are going to be halved in their spawn Dream Shards. You're actually going to get a huge nerf to your Dream Shards. Now, this is not specific to this event. This is a general problem for people who do short naps and are day shift people. If you're a night shift person, you're much less harmed because your first session is actually normally your long session. This wouldn't matter that much. Now, I don't actually have numbers to back me up because going to the Rainix calculator, you can try to estimate how much dream shards you would earn, but unfortunately their calculator model doesn't yet support the nerf from 11th spawn onwards just yet. Although from personal experience, I can tell you that the average session, it's much better to go for 1 session than 2 sessions for day shift players. Unless you've got a huge drowsy power, maybe because of good sleep day, or maybe you've spent a lot of helper whistles and have a whale amount of drowsy power, and you're kind of maxing out your sleep styles on the first session anyway, then it doesn't really matter. You will still get more dream shards by having 2 sessions. But otherwise, generally speaking, to maximize dream shards, 1 session may be better. You don't really need a good camp ticket for this week. I don't think there's a lot of benefit of running a good camp ticket unless you really want more dream shards, so that 20% speed boost is important, and partly because the cooking pot is 1.5 times larger already because of this event itself. You should be able to cook most, if not all, of the dishes, even without a good camp ticket. We don't really know much about the actual anniversary event as well, so maybe hold on to the good camp ticket for the actual anniversary event. Regardless, this 1.5 times pot multiplier will help us get stronger dishes, meaning that once again, the Dene is going to be more powerful because your pot is going to be larger, so you're going to be cooking stronger dishes. Tasty Chance S is going to be a good skill to run this week. And that's it for the Prelude event. Let me know which area you guys are going to in the comments section below. And I'm guessing there's going to be a lot to talk about in the actual anniversary event. Based on last year's event with all the dream gifts, I think we'll be dedicating a whole other video on that event. So don't forget to like and subscribe.